Hello everyone. I'd like to demonstrate for you an interactive dashboard that I created using IBM's Cognos Analytics version 11.1.6 that is entitled Global Incident Reporting. The data is sourced from a sample data set that I've created into a data module entitled Banking Event Losses for the years of 2007 to 2014. The goal of the dashboard is to provide insight and discover patterns by analyzing the data relating to the errors, incidents, and events that have created financial losses for this company. Incident reporting is a critical function within a financial company, as it's important to ensure that you are tracking your errors, escalating them, filing them with the regulators, recovering any lost capital, and ensuring any lessons learned are clearly disseminated across the organization. Most financial companies have incident tracking systems that serve mainly as a database to store past incident data and metrics. However, not all are analyzing the data to better understand how they can avoid these mistakes going forward. This is where this dashboard becomes important and can be easily implemented to serve that purpose. To start, it's important to immediately see here at the top left a simple table visualization comparing the various business units within the company and the total net loss generated by each due to various errors. This is a nice entry point in the dashboard and shows a high-level league table or standings, something that can get quite interesting when holding the business unit meetings with the various business heads. You can see here at the bottom of the table that we have a running total of the entire net loss amount, which shows the company has had approximately $500 million in losses due to error and incidents over a 7-year period. Below the table, we have a bar chart that gives us insight into which risk category has accounted for what percentage of the total net loss. And below that, we have our KPIs, or in this example, KRIs, showing the average net loss per incident and the number of non-reviewed incidents, or backlog of incidents that have not yet been reviewed and signed off by senior management. Back at the top, we have some column charts that show the total net loss from a regional view, with percentage of net loss per region shown as value labels. If you click on a region, you can see the data change across the dashboard. When filtering on each region and comparing the various metrics, it is easy to immediately make some conclusions. For example, let's compare the percent of total net loss per region to average net loss here in the KRI box and see if we can discover anything worth highlighting. So we have North America selected already, and it shows up here that they own about 50% of the entire net loss for the company, with an average net loss amount of $370K. Switching over here to the EMEA region, you can see that they own about 30% of the entire net loss for the company, with an average of $335,000 per incident of net loss. And finally, clicking on Asia Pacific, you can see that they own 23% of the entire net loss, with an average net loss per incident coming in at about $385,000. So while drilling into the regional data, it becomes evident that even though Asia Pacific has the smallest percentage of net loss in total, it does have the highest average net loss per incident. This now becomes a very insightful piece of analysis that the company can potentially use to justify further investigation into the Asia-Pacific region to determine some of the factors that may have caused this, or they could further employ their IBM Cognos Analytics Jedi to create some AI-driven charts and visualizations instead. A nice spiral chart here would be a good suggestion to show the attributes with the strongest predictive strength. To the right of this column chart, we have the percentage of recovered capital that was collected by the firm, which offsets the gross loss of each incident. It stands out right away by looking at this that the North American region, which owns about 50% of the total net loss, is in second place behind the EMEA region as far as recovering the amount of capital back. This is another valuable piece of insight that could generate further investigation as to why North America has the largest net loss per region, but not the highest recovered amount of capital. Below these column charts, we have a Marimekko chart which gives us a 3D look at each business unit and the percentage of total incidents they are responsible for, along with the days to resolution attribute, or how long it took a company to resolve the incident, as seen here on the x-axis. This attribute was not immediately available to me, so I determined it was something that could be obtained by performing a simple calculation by subtracting the incident date from the date of resolution. Right here you can see that we have the number of incidents per business unit designated by the value labels, along with the color code, which notates the status of the incident as approved, in progress, not started, rejected, or under review. Down the right-hand side of the dashboard, I've built out line charts by business showing net loss by year, which should give us a quick view as to which businesses perhaps have taken on the most financial risk over that 7-year span. What immediately stands out to me is the volatility of the corporate finance line chart, as you can see a massive spike in 2013. Hovering over that marker, you can see that there was a net loss of about $57 million that year, which is about 10 to 11% of the total net loss across all business units for the entire 7-year span. Analyzing the data further, as you can see down here, there are about 7,000 non-reviewed incidents in the year 2013, which means that there is still much for this company to assess and learn to ensure they build confidence to avoid repeat mistakes. The final way to determine some next logical steps would be to use the Marimekko chart here. And as you can see, the largest category by size falls under retail banking, where they've had by far the most incidents at 370,000, which have taken the longest amount of days to resolve. Not a bad place to hire some contract workers here on a temporary basis to clear out the backlog. So to conclude, you can see from this dashboard and the few examples I showed you that it becomes quite an impressive tool to analyze and discover hidden patterns that you may not otherwise see in a dataset, Excel spreadsheet, etc. As usual, if you have any questions, feedback, or comments, please feel free to post them below in the comments section. Thank you.